If you are like me, then you love to be organized, but rarely are. The truth is, I have been the person that has cycled through trying to use different organizational tools my entire life. I used to always have a physical planner, and like 3/4 of the way through the year, if I was lucky, I would stop using it. Other times it was like I would literally use it for the month of January and then never touch it again. You too? How many planners do you have? Let's be real. A couple of years ago, I made the shift to using online organizational tools, and I just recently stumbled across maybe the best one. And I'm not about to gatekeep. I'm not gonna do that to you. So no more dilly-dallying. Let's get directly into it. If you are like me, your calendar might look like this. I started utilizing a tool quite a while ago, probably 2 or 3 years ago, called time blocking. Let me explain what that is. Time blocking is this tool where you essentially look at your entire day, find the tasks you need to do, the self-care things you need to do, the appointments, anything going on in that day, and you put it directly in the time block that you would like to achieve that task. The reason that this works for me is, one, I actually really value having structure in my day-to-days, even though my day-to-days don't look the same. I also really appreciate knowing what I'm supposed to be doing when, because if it's left to me, if I just have a random list of things I need to get done, I'm gonna procrastinate, and I'm gonna try not to do those things. And so time blocking, what it does for me is ensures that I get the things done that I need to get done. At certain points in my life, I was time blocking everything. Like my morning routines were inside of my calendars. The times that I would eat were inside of my calendars. The times I would work out were in my calendars. Like everything existed in my calendar. I've taken half a step back. My meals aren't usually in my calendar anymore, but I still almost use it for everything. Now, time blocking has been proven to be a really wonderful tool for ADHDers, but let me tell you this, sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming, especially if you are using many different types of organizational tools, such as having your Gmail set up, having different organizational tools like Asana or Monday.com, or having Slack set up for your teammates and stuff that you work with. There are so many organizational tools out there that it can actually get really overwhelming to set up your days because you're having to check 5 different spaces before organizing your day. And so what I want to show you today is how I utilize not only Google Calendar, but the best organizational system I have ever found for ADHDers that ensures that you only have to look at one spot most days. Oh, can you imagine? Incredible. So let me show you the system. So as you can see, I live my entire life off of Google Calendar. This is real. This is true. This is what my Google Calendar looks like. The truth is, I live so much off of my Google Calendar that if it's not in there, it's not happening. The truth is, I have tried in the past using planners and physical things, but the reality is that I will forget my planner at home. Maybe I've gone to a coffee shop to do work or something, but I will always have my phone on me. And so having the Google Calendar app right there, being able to look at it is the dream. So I want to run through how I set up Google Calendar, and I've actually found a new system that has enhanced my calendar so much, and I cannot wait to show you. On the left side of my calendar, I have a whole bunch of different calendars. The reason for this is because I want to be able to organize my work and my life in a really clear way. Now, I'm going to show you how I do this. A good example is tomorrow I have my yoga class set up, but right now it's just under my Haley Honeyman calendar. It's not under anything special. But what I can do is if I edit this event, instead of making it under my main calendar, I can actually scroll down and make it part of my workout. So there we go, workouts. Look at that. When I save it, what's helpful about this is that now I can see blue my workouts. I can see whenever my workouts are happening. So like I can even add something like my physio appointment under technically workouts because it's something to do with my body in that way. And it'll just make it a really easy way for me to recognize who, what, when, where, and why. The reason I love having multiple different types of calendars too is that I can go in and change like the colors and make it aesthetic and look pretty. Mine, I don't actually think looks very pretty currently. But I have friends that have like beautiful calendars that makes it a lot nicer to look at, because we know one of the reasons that ADHDers do things is because they're interested in it. And I know for myself, if something looks nice, I'm more likely to use it. And so essentially how I look at my Google Calendar is it's my task list. It is my reminder for anything happening. It is like events. It is work tasks. It's meetings. It's everything lives in here. But the problem I found with Google Calendar is that I also have other organizational systems that don't directly involve Google Calendar, such as Slack messages, such as my email, such as what else? Asana is an organizational tool that my team uses, and I find it really hard to manage multiple systems at once. And so I was reached out to by a company a couple months ago and have started using their software, and it is called Akiflow. And I want to show you how this is literally revolutionizing how I am able to be accountable. I had a company reach out to me a couple of months ago and they said, "We think we have the solution to some of your organizational problems. How about you test it out?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'll do it." And so I tested it out and it's fucking life-changing. I swear to God, it's unbelievable. So if you are someone that is already using Google Calendar and you want the ability to organize all of your other systems in one place, this is the tool for you. If you are someone that is just learning how to use Google Calendar to set up your life, this is absolutely can be a tool for you as well. But I would say first start by setting up your days on Google Calendar first. So the system I want to show you is called Akiflow. Let me bring it up. So this here is Akiflow. As you can see, it's very similar to what Google Calendar looks like. I can see however many days I want, or I can see the entire month, which is what I usually look at my Google Calendar as. And you'll see immediately, this just for me is way more beautiful than my Google Calendar is. Do a little comparison here. Look at this. Look at the difference. This is automatically how it set it up in my calendar. Beautiful pastels. We love it. And you'll see that because I changed in my Google Calendar that my yoga was under a different calendar, it shows up as blue in my calendar on Akiflow, which is so convenient. So I want to show you a couple of the really nice things that this adds to my organization system. First off, if I go to today on the left side, I can add my task list here. Now, if you know me, you'll know I'm a person that I usually handwrite my task list down. But the problem with this is that I will leave the house and I'll forget what's on my task list. I'll go to a coffee shop, forget what's on my task list, and that can be really inconvenient. But on Akiflow, I can put all of my to-do lists here. And the really nice thing is that if I want to actually add this to my day, so if I'm looking at just today, look, film Akiflow, I'm actually a little bit ahead, which is dope. If I want to add cook dinner somewhere into my day, I'm going to find where I think I can do that. Let's say I can do it 4 p.m. Task added. How crazy is that? It's so quick. It's so easy. If I want to add editing the Akiflow video, okay, you know what? I can actually do that. Here, added, done, easy. Easy as can be. I can add a description into this. I can change that it's not going to be 30 minutes. Maybe it's going to be an hour. I can add links to it. So if I want to give myself more information about what to be doing there, I can do that. I need to do the litter box as well. Let's throw that in right at the very end of my day after I've played games with friends. And so it's as easy as that I can create a task list and time block immediately. And this is now set up in my Google Calendar as well. If I were to go to my Google Calendar now, you'll see all of these things are in my Google Calendar. Now, here is an added benefit of how my Google Calendar is set up. So one of the things that I have done in my Google Calendar that follows me in Akiflow as well is I have set it up so that I get a ton of reminders every time a calendar event goes into my calendar. For me, this is so helpful. So I want to show you how I did this and why I do it. So let's go into my main calendar in settings and sharing. The thing is, if you want to add reminders to a calendar event, you do need to do it for every single one of your calendars individually, which is not ideal, but it is how you have to do it. If I go to event notifications, I can add notifications here. So you'll see for any Haley Honeyman event in my calendar, there is a reminder at 1 week. So this is really helpful for big things that require my eyes on it a week in advance. So for example, I got a calendar notification about my physiotherapy that's happening in a week. And it was good for me to just be reminded, oh yeah, that's coming up. I don't actually have to do anything about it, but it's nice to be reminded, oh yeah, that's coming up. I set up one happening 12 hours in advance, which usually ends up being that I wake up to calendar notifications in my phone. And why that is helpful is because I'm starting my day going, oh yeah, I've got this coming up, this coming up, this coming up. Great. I do a 3-hour one. This is like a precautionary, like in case I have missed everything and it's not on my radar, 3 hours before is going to give me enough time if I have to go somewhere, drive somewhere, and be prepared. I do a 1 hour before, again, as a precautionary of like a, hey, have you really missed this? This is coming up ASAP. And the 10 minutes before, I actually love this one because anytime I have anything happening, I tend to like to be about 10 minutes early to everything. So this notification is actually a reminder for me, like, hey, you need to be doing this thing now. So that's really, really helpful. And what I love is that when I use Akiflow, it automatically has those notifications show up, and I didn't have to do anything to make that happen, which is dope. So back over to Akiflow, the other thing that I absolutely love about it, like I said, I use other systems. Like Gmail is something that I constantly get tasks from it, but don't really know how to add it to my Google Calendar, or it's like an additional step that can be annoying sometimes. So I want to show you what I can do. It's so convenient. This blew my mind when I saw it. So what you're looking at is my junk mail. I don't want to like show everything, but you can see if I were to get an email come in, the Vancouver Canucks, oh my God, they're having an away game viewing party at Rogers Arena. I want to do that. I want to go. If I want to add this to a task list as like, hey, I need to reply to this, I need to set something up to make this happen, whatever it is, if I right click it, go down to label as, all I need to do is mark it Akiflow, apply. So if I go back into Akiflow now, and all I do is click the inbox, this is where any email has come through that I have marked as Akiflow. So you can see the Vancouver Canucks game is here. Now let's say that I am looking at my day tomorrow, and I'm like, okay, I've got some time. I've got some emails I need to do anyways. How about I plop that in right there? Dope. That is now a task that is not only going to show up in Akiflow, it's also going to show up in my calendar for me to reply to it, do a task regarding it, whatever it is. This makes it so convenient and also more likely that I am going to get back to emails that I know are important. How many times have you had an email come into your inbox and you're like, I'll reply to that later, and then you forget about it completely? I swear to God, that happens to me all the time. And this is that solution for that. And I'm so thankful for this. Now, let's say that I had a bigger project that actually had a lot of tasks underneath it. I can now organize, guys, I'm going to freak out over this. I can now organize my calendar to have all of those project details under one thing. So let me show you. Let's say under projects here, I have added a new project. I can add a project or I can add a folder. Let's say that I have a project that I am planning a business party. Okay, here it is. This is my business party. I can add tasks to this project. So let's say that this away game viewing for the Vancouver Canucks is actually going to be something I want to do for this business party. All I need to do is right click it and I can assign it to a project, business party. Look at that. Now, not only is it showing up in my calendar, it shows me when I'm assigned to do this part of the project, but it's also showing up underneath this project. And so it's all in exactly where it needs to be, and it's beautiful. I actually am freaking out over this. It's so beautiful. If I wanted to, I can even have specific tags for different things. So let's say that this tag is for marketing. let's say. Look at that. That was hilarious. I got a little notification saying film Akiflow video. But let's say, for example, that I wanted to also tag this as part of the marketing that I'm going to be doing for it. I can also add the priority to it. So let's say like, oh my God, this is really high priority. So I can also tag it by clicking assign or remove tags, and I can add it to my marketing list, which is dope. Now it's under my marketing tag as well. The other thing I can do is I can add a deadline to it saying like, this has to be done by whenever. I can add in the deadline to it. So let's say that this has to be done by tomorrow. It's now flagged as needing to be done tomorrow. It's added as top priority. This is going to give me a lot of assurance that I'm going to get this task done as part of a larger project. And this, I think, is so foolproof for those that have ADHD. I genuinely think that this is such an important organizational tool for ADHDers specifically because it allows you to not have your hands in so many pots. For example, if you use some sort of organizational system like Monday.com, Asana, any of those things, all of those tasks, if you integrate it, will show up on your day-to-day in Akiflow. So then you can time block your day. Crazy. On top of that, you don't have to ensure that you are constantly looking at your inbox going, have I replied to these emails? No, it's been 3 weeks and Sarah's mad at me. That's the name of my therapist. You now have it all in one place. I honestly find this tool so incredibly helpful. I find it beautiful. It's easy to use. It takes no time to set up. And this is the version that I'm showing right now is the version that exists on like any computer. You can pull this up, but it also has a desktop app that you can use, which is exactly the same, but it allows for greater integrations and whatnot. And that is so useful and helpful. So this, again, I think is one of the best organizational tools for ADHDers, and I highly suggest you give it a try and see if this is going to help you when it comes to remembering what to do, when to do, because realistically, you can assign things like cooking dinner or realizing that you have time off somewhere. If you're like, oh my God, I need a little bit more time to do things, I'm going to schedule time off. That is something that Haley needs to do. Haley needs to schedule time off. But it makes it really easy to look at your days. If I were to look at tomorrow and I would go, oh my God, okay, I have the whole evening. That's amazing. I can schedule things because I actually have a visual on where everything lives in one place. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that this has been really supportive for you, and I hope you give it a try and see if it works for you. So again, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. If no one has yet told you today, I am so proud of you, and it's amazing that you're doing the work on yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. So it's pretty fucking cool you're doing it for yourself. Love you so much. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.